In a land kissed by golden sunrises and veiled in ancient secrets, there lay the kingdom of Udalo, where palm trees danced to the rhythm of the wind and the rivers whispered stories older than time. In this kingdom lived a beautiful girl named Awil. She was the only child of Queen Ifeoma, who died bringing her into the world. Her father, King Omokafe, loved her dearly but was often away dealing with the burdens of the crown. Without a mother's love, Awil grew up quiet and tender, raised by her aging nanny, Mama Eben. She was gentle with the servants, kind to animals, and spoke to the trees as if they were old friends. The people of the land adored her, calling her the flower who bloomed in sorrow. But all that changed when the king remarried. Her stepmother, Lady Idomi, brought with her 2 daughters, Oyabo and Amaka. Oyabo, the elder, was proud and sharp-tongued. Amaka, the younger, mirrored her mother's malice with a crueler twist. While the king hoped his new family would heal his daughter's loneliness, the opposite came to pass. They mocked Awil's quiet nature, forced her to do chores meant for servants, and twisted every kindness she offered into a reason for punishment. Still, Awil bore it all without complaint. She would rise early, sweep the palace, tend the garden, and find moments to sing by the well behind the royal kitchen. Her voice, clear and sorrowful, drifted through the air like incense, catching the ears of those who dared to listen. One day, a proclamation thundered through the land. Prince Chinedu, heir to the neighboring kingdom of Ezi, had returned from his journey across distant lands. Rumor had it that he sought a bride, not through riches or beauty, but through the purity of heart. Tired of women who only saw his crown, the prince disguised himself as a homeless wanderer. He wore rags, his hair was tangled, and his face was smeared with ash. He carried no sword, no gold, only a walking staff and an old calabash slung across his back. He entered Udalo not with drums or horses, but on foot, begging for food and shelter. When he reached the market square, people turned away in disgust. Children laughed at him. Traders hissed and shooed him with broomsticks. No one offered him water or a word of kindness. That was until he wandered behind the palace, drawn by the soft melody that rose from the well. There sat Awil, singing to the birds, her hands soaked in soapy water as she scrubbed a pile of laundry. The prince paused, captivated not just by her voice but by the grace with which she moved. When she noticed him, she did not flinch. She did not wrinkle her nose or call for guards. Instead, she smiled. "You must be tired, traveler," she said, rising to her feet. "Come sit. I have some yams roasting inside." He sat on a stone while she fetched him food, water, and even a clean wrapper to rest on. They spoke for hours under the mango tree. She asked nothing of him but listened to his tales as if they were the most precious jewels in the world. Every day after, the prince returned in disguise, and Awil welcomed him with the same quiet joy. Meanwhile, inside the palace, Oyabo and Amaka prepared for the upcoming festival. It was announced that the prince would choose his bride during the festival of the full moon. Dresses were sewn, hair was braided, and beads were ordered from distant towns. The stepsisters believed their beauty alone would win the prince's heart. On the day of the festival, the prince arrived not as the ragged beggar but in his royal robe. His face clean, his crown gleaming, his eyes sharp. 1,000 maidens stood in a line, but none caught his gaze. When Oyabo approached him with a smirk and curtsied, he barely blinked. Amaka, with her painted face and dripping gold, reached for his hand, but he turned away. "I seek not the woman who flatters my title," he declared, "but the one who shared her food with a stranger and washed my feet with her own hands." A silence fell. Then a murmur. The prince raised his staff and pointed to the back of the crowd where Awil stood in simple attire. Her head bowed in disbelief. "She is the one," he said. "The flower who blooms in sorrow." Gasps rose from the crowd. The stepmother turned pale. Oyabo and Amaka froze, their painted smiles cracking. Awil stepped forward, unsure, her eyes wide with tears. The prince bowed before her and took her hand. "You saw me when no one else did," he said. Not with your eyes, but with your heart. The king, once confused, now saw everything clearly. He embraced his daughter with pride and declared a celebration that lasted 7 days and 7 nights. As for the stepmother and her daughters, they were sent away to a remote village, where they lived humbly and learned the weight of their cruelty. Some say Amaka tried to bathe in the same well, hoping to find another prince, but the birds only sang of her folly. And a wheel. She became queen, not just of a kingdom, but of every heart that ever longed for true love, born not of riches or beauty, but of kindness and truth. In Udalo, they still tell the tale under moonlight, the story of how love wore rags, and a princess with a broken heart became the joy of a kingdom. Then,